Welcome back to Grace Based Christian Coaching Podcast and YouTube channel where we help faith first women build lives directed by God and not driven by anxiety. I am your host, Alexandra Cavill, a Christian life and leadership coach for women who are carrying a lot and want to walk in peace, clarity, and purpose. Today, we're talking about what I'll be focused on in the new year following the most insane year of growth ever. So, if you're ready to run in the new year and want insight on how to do it well, this is an episode that you simply cannot miss. Okay, so if you are ready to rock in the new year, but perhaps are feeling a bit scattered or insecure about what to do, this is for you. Maybe you're constantly feeling strapped for time and are ready to be more strategic than ever. So, what I'll say here is first, know that it's okay to not feel perfectly prepared. That's a good thing and would encourage you to rejoice in your dependency on God and don't feel like you need to do it alone, okay? And by the end of this conversation, my hope, my prayer, and intention is for you to feel empowered, encouraged, and focused to hop into the new year and grow with God. All right, guys, I thrive personally in the goal setting process, and would invite you to subscribe to catch the next episode where I'm sharing a personal story about just that. Planning for the year, maybe for you too, brings a lot of joy and a delight, unlike anything that I've ever quite experienced before. It is pretty epic, and the fact that I get to bring that contagious joy, energy, and focus to others is just the best, and one of my favorite personal gifts that God has given. So many of my clients, they say that our goal setting sessions are their favorite, where we pick a word in our scripture of the year, goal set with structure, do it all so grounded and led by the Lord. I just love that so much. So, quick aside there, if you want to fan the flame and ignite more focus in Jesus and God-led action into your life, I'd like to personally invite you to visit gracebasedchristiancoaching.com and learn more about what it looks like there for us to work together. And if you're serious about getting started, visit Book Online tab and reserve a clarity call. So if you're wanting to get focused but are feeling overwhelmed instead, here's a look at what the new year is going to look like for Grace-Based Christian Coaching coming off of our best year yet. Okay, so I put this one first on purpose because it's like a fuel, this just insane spark that will light everything up. And I want this for you too, and it's community both in personal life, but business too. Doing it with people is what it's all about. That is an it factor. So for me, that's going to look like continued, consistent, more of a depth of connection with my business besties, if you will. And considering perhaps creating like an organic type of a mastermind. Those can be amazing. Amazing. And if you're disciplined, I found that informal one-on-one regular touch bases with some of your rest gals can be really great too. So that's one. Also going deeper with a group at church. Speaking about, I guess that's a theme right now, is kind of making things informally and organically. And maybe that's an encouragement for you too. Don't wait till something is announced. What if he is calling you and inviting you to start it with him? So get excited about that. So there's just this woman who is just such a blessing and treasure in my life, an inspiration of how she walks with Jesus. And we both had it on our heart to create a group to go deeper. And so we're in the works of talking about what that could look like and how to launch and all those things. So super exciting. And then the third area I'll add here is going deeper with my people, like my OG girls. Like I'm talking elementary school best friend, high school best girls, things like that. Like these people know you so well that in a way that others don't. And so not to say, there are friendships where you outgrow and it's just not the best fit for one another. But right now I miss these girls and just feel convicted to go deeper and more intentional with them. So that's some of the community goals I've got here. Next one is consistency with posting. If you listened to our last episode, you know that that is something that I talked about. That's an it factor for the clients I work with and myself. And if you didn't listen to that episode, that might be my favorite or one of my favorites. I know it's early, right? We're in early January, but you got to do it. What triples our growth in 2025? So have fun listening to that. See what stands out to you. It might support you too. But what'll help, there's a VA that is on board. There's so much content to share, and I'm just so excited to have support to get it out and share more resources and tools so that you can go forward faster too. And then the other one is, if you haven't listened to this episode, there's one, several, it might be released in October, but we were just talking about navigating insecurities. And it's really like a why not you episode. And that's something that I'm personally leaning into in the new year. I've spent so much time thinking like, oh, just wait until this collaboration or that partnership happens, and then things will really take off. And had the conviction from the Lord, like, this is a you and me thing. Like, let's do this. This is us. Not to say that collaborations, couldn't happen in the future, but right now there's a trust and faith. And so maybe you're there too, thinking you're waiting for someone or something to happen before you've arrived or you're in this certain spot. My encouragement to you is to consider, like, well, what would it look like to move forward in a bold and powerful way now? I'm almost 8, 9 years in business. I'm like, wow, what if I fully, like, maybe you're thinking about it, but what would it look like to fully embrace that? And how could that change things? Get excited about that. Okay, another one is blogging, longer form content. That is something that I'm passionate about and I think serves the women here really, really well. So you'll see more of this content coming up through blog posts too. It's great to listen to things in our pockets, but there's something about skimmable content that can be powerful too. And also just for SEO purposes, right? That having things that can live longer and serve more people is important to me. If I'm going to be doing this, if I'm going to be pouring time and energy into this, I want it to be able to reach and impact as many people as possible for God's kingdom. So that's a priority. Another one is honoring my own needs. This for an achiever is not always easy. Maybe you can relate. I'm working towards being better about protecting a day to pour into me, to pour into God's creation, to recognize that, to be intentional, with spending even more like focused, purposeful time with my girls in the afternoon too. Like, I think it's one thing to be chill and play and, just like have the day go about how it's going to go about, but more rhythms that align to what we're saying our family values and things like that are, and just cultivating intentionally. If you ever want me to share more about that, just reach out and I'll do an episode to share some of the scoop about what we're working on in our own family and how we came about that. And then regular reflection time. One of my favorite quotes, slow down to speed up. Like, the dividends that this pays is mind blowing. That it's changed my life and the business doing that consistently. Prioritizing moving my body, going to the gym, going to classes, having 3 babies in under 3 years was wonderful and one of the best gifts God will ever give us. But that meant a lot of home YouTube workouts, and it's great and I love it. I love the flexibility, but just ready to get out of the house and do more in community. That's a theme. Cooking, I don't know about you, that's not my favorite way to spend time, but that's a muscle to honor my family that I would love to grow, and have more quiet time and reading too. My like nonfiction to be read list is bananas and I love it and I want to spend more time with that. Um, and then kind of connected to this next one is this idea that your lifestyle is the strategy. Remembering that, recognizing, honoring that. When I'm pouring into my own needs and like leading the way, that serves y'all too. And so I want to share some more personal insight as well, moving into this next one, of how, like, what God-centered growth in life and work looks like what the grace-based Christian coaching transformation means to me, right? Like, how am I a product of that by living that out in a focused way? This one's a favorite. I don't know if y'all remember in elementary school, just asking like, what do you want to be when you grow up? And what you would jot down on those assignments and worksheets and things like that. For me, as an avid reader, for as long as I can remember, it was to become an author. And I would love to create a book. This is something like a one-stop shop to help with focus, to help with this. I think there's some really great like side effects, if you will, to help with messaging here, to help with purposeful content. But really, ultimately, it's to serve a broader audience that might not be able to work one-on-one or in a group program with me, but really see this. I'm in my late 30s, so, by no means old, but have lived enough life that legacy is becoming very, very important to me. And I see this as a legacy piece for my girls too, and to share with them a bit of what I've learned, what I'm noticing is valuable, and package it in an easy to digest way. I'm excited to upgrade my client experience. I adore the women I work with. I love you ladies so much. And to serve you by elevating the GSCC experience with additional resources, some structure, some things like that, that is in the works. And then one more I'll leave you with is this idea. If you had listened to the last episode, I shared a challenge that I think was a little bit of rocket fuel to propel me forward and to support changing everything. And so, in the spirit of a challenge and growth, that's something that I'm thinking about doing. For me right now, monthly seems too heavy. So, thinking about it from a quarterly perspective. So does that look like maybe a new product in a quarter? Maybe that looks like one quarter, perhaps one month in that quarter, working on selling every day. Maybe that looks like from a faith-based perspective, what is the fruit of the spirit that the Lord is nudging me to cultivate and being really focused and thoughtful on that. So it can look like anything. You can have so much fun with it. It doesn't have to be a daily thing. It could be maybe trying out a new experience each week or every other week, just having fun and just infusing a burst of something different that you might not have otherwise. Sound good? All right, guys, we talked about highlights coming off of Grace-Based Christian Coaching's best year yet. I just want to encourage you, if you are consistently putting in the work, but sometimes it feels like, okay, well, where's the momentum here? Like keep seeking him, keep going, but then listen to what he says and be obedient to it. You will see growth. You will see change. But thinking about today, as we thought about what does 2026 entail? Two big questions as we wrap up for today. One, what spoke to you about what I shared? What goals might you want to quote twin with me that you love and want to adopt, perhaps tweak to become your own? And or what did hearing me share spark for you? Maybe it's not exactly to do something that I shouted out, but it got you thinking about something else to consider, something else to do in a different way. So if you are passionate about going further, faster than you might on your own, visit gracebasedchristiancoaching.com/coaching to learn about what faith-based coaching looks like, to learn more about what clients are saying. gracebasedchristiancoaching.com/testimonials. We've got a lot of fun stories on there, and would encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube and our podcast channel. Next time, I am chatting about how to tap into how the Lord created you to grow and what's so important, what's so life-changing about that, and support you in unlocking something new and different and fun for his glory, and for growing his kingdom too. So thank you so much for joining today, and I can't wait to see you again next time.